Okay, so now you should be able to hear me. Hello? Hello? Alright, looks like I'm doing that, but I need to copy that, paste that in, paste that in. Yeah, so now no matter where I am, you hear what I'm saying. Cool. Now I need to hear myself. Wow, how many places am I in this? I'm on the window right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my goodness, it's too many of me. That's pretty fun though, with the latency right there. Okay, now it's Jerry. Close this window. Close Studio. So I don't really necessarily, yeah. I don't necessarily want. Let's be unlisted. I don't need that anymore. Why do I have something for? I just schedule. This is not upcoming. I don't know what this one is either. I just shoot. Delete. This wasn't anything. Now this. I don't know what this was. Okay. I closed that. Was I supposed to close that? The audio stream bitrate is lower than it should be. Does that mean you can't hear me? Hello? You can't hear me? No, you still can. Hello? No, you still can. So now this pad's working pretty well. Is this do it? Yeah, yeah. Alright, ESP to 266. I have this. I don't need this anymore. Okay, I'm actually gonna need this open. And this is just Wikipedia, and then everything. And this is just Wikipedia. So I don't want to. Actually, I should read this. Can I pop out the live chat? Yeah. So now I can create another source. Put that in here. How long should this be? I don't know. So, I don't know, if anyone watching this, no one. Okay, well, so, I'm going to set up like an office hours type of thing, where people can join the chat. Because basically, if I have to work from home in New York, like, I'm just not going to be, it's going to be not enough people. And it'd be great to have some people come in if they have questions, you know. I just want to hang out in the chat. But clearly, you know, if there is, I'm gonna have to figure out exactly. Can I rename this source? And then, yeah, so I can just change this video out whenever I need to change the video out. then something right there in the middle, and this is like my control center. So my pitch, I'm probably going to be listening to music the whole time, but look, I'm probably going to spend like an hour or so a day if I have to work from home. You know, just pick an open source thing. Give me something. All right, this is actually really secure. I'm happy with the webcam. You know, hey, I'm going to be live streaming, open source coding. You know, people pop in the questions, you know, ask me questions about what I'm doing. You know, hey, I work at Google. If you have any questions about actions on Google, or Assistant, or Smart Home, yeah, I'm here and I'll answer stuff. Office hours style. And if people don't have questions, then they don't ask questions, and that's cool too. They can just watch me live code. The framing is very nice. Yeah, this OBS software seems pretty nifty. I've got my two monitors side by side. I've got my chat. I've got me. Then if I'm like, oh yeah, let me do something. Let me show you exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna pop over. Boom, boom. Over to this window, to the other window. Or if it's something like, oh, I need to enter a password or, you know, download some private key, like, you know, what's this key supposed to be? And I want to show anyone, I can just boom, like, boom. I'll start working on some of the stuff. I do have this nice little space right here to put an image. So let me go ahead and do that, and, you know, we'll try out how this is supposed to work. In Photoshop, boom, right window. All right. So what is the space I need to fill in here? Oop. I don't know. Can I find out from this? No, it doesn't really tell me the physical dimensions. Yeah, there might be some of this too. You know, I'm just gonna do whatever. Scale to window. Canvas output. Am I streaming? Why am I streaming at? Nope, I don't want to do that. I don't understand what that means. The output is 12. Okay. So the output is 1280 by 720. So what I gotta do is print screen. Take my clipboard. Pop over to the right window. So this is my whole thing. Let me select this. This is my output. Alright, so now I have that. This is gonna be, this needs to be 1280 by 720. It's not. Okay, so here we go. It says 1280 by 721, so I was off by 1 pixel. That's okay. So this is what it actually is supposed to look like. And so this is literally the space. Nope. I'm just going to select this box right here, crop that, and I'm off by 1 pixel again. Okay, now we can go to canvas size pixels, and we see it's 527 by 318. Now we can just have some fun. Be a bit creative with what we want it to look like. So I'm going to pop in the video capture device. Yeah, let me pop that in. Make it really small. Can I specify the size? Transform. No, okay. Yeah, I should probably just here, transform, flip vertical. Nope, wrong, flip. Flip vertical, and then I flip horizontal. That's a little better, because now when I point, it's the right finger. Like you're looking at me. Now can I add in here, sorry, option? I can't specify exactly how small I want this to be. But I guess that's fine, right? Then you can still see what I'm doing. And then we have this nice thing up here. No one's watching, which is okay with me. Yeah. How do I sound? How do I sound? Yeah, I think I sound pretty okay. Yeah, I think I sound pretty okay. It's not high quality audio. It's not podcast quality, but I think it's live coding quality. So I'm gonna mute that again. Okay. I think. Good. So let's close that. So now I have the space to work with. I want to put up, so now that I've got my whole all feeds sort of nice scene set up in the software, I want to put a card up. You know, if I go to all feeds, okay, so this is, so I got myself, I got the first window, got the second window, got the live chat, and I've got this space sort of in the middle. With the middle space, I want some sort of context to give to the viewers. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't necessarily want to do Photoshop. Do I? No. If I Photoshop it, then I just have a static image. But I want to give it like a little more context, you know. If I'm saying, you know, office hours, that's what I'm calling it. between, I want to put a time in there. If I have something to do at 4, I can say, okay, 2 to 4 office hours, right? And join the live chat. Or if I'm saying, okay, well, today I want to do some embedded stuff, or maybe I just want to do embedded stuff for a short period of time. I can go ahead and say, hey, folks, I could have it. I'm just going to do my desk now. Why is everything so warm? Is it because of the... Yeah, it's because of the radiator. That's not good for these electronics. Anyway, I want to say, hey folks, today we're going to play around with the photon. Oh, wait a second. Now I get why it's not vertical. Yeah. So if I flip the horizontal again, now you see it's the photon. So that's probably why they flipped it horizontally, so that you could actually get things, even though this is my left hand and you're seeing me on the right side of the screen. The photon. And then I plug it in and we play around with a little with electronics. And then, webcam, move that around. That's kind of what I'm envisioning here. It's like, hey, Nick is going to do some stuff, and you're all welcome to watch. Otherwise, I'm going to get cabin fever. What's in this box? It's the Intel Edison. Haven't used that in a while. But I do want to have something like that. In fact, some sort of card in the middle that says, hey, Nick is going to play around with the Intel Edison today, or for an hour, or whatever I want to do. I want to be dynamic, just a little bit, So now I'm thinking that, hey, I've got this live chat. It's this browser thing. Oop, don't want to do that. Refresh browser when scene becomes active. So yeah, I do want to have, so what I'm going to do, cancel that. So I know the dimensions of this space in the middle. So what I'm going to do today is walk through a demo of how to build a custom card using HTML in the browser, make it very nice, and get it to work with OBS. Pretty straightforward, right? Let's open up VS Code. Alright, I have this open already. I'm going to create a new workspace. So let's call this Felker live stream card. Open that folder up. And open a workspace. Nope. Open a folder. So this is going to be HTML. Let's call it index.html. I don't really need a title. I don't need a fab icon either. Body. Put a div in there. Felker live stream. Office hours. Make a new line. We call this currently building a. Actually, I'm gonna make this bold. Live stream description. Do that. That should be basically what I want here. So back to my original scene. I'm going to create a new browser. create new. Let me call this context card. I'll point this to a local file. This application is it's got some UI issues, I will say. You can see it already. Alright, development. Valkyrie live stream card. Point at index. I want the width to be 427 by 318. Control audio. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. I'm going to control my own CSS. So, shut down source not visible. Nope. Refresh when scene becomes active. What's with these buttons? Why are they so? Okay, so that was too small. Oh, because yeah. I'm just gonna inflate that proportionally. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So that's what it looks like. This is how it's rendered. So as you can see, there's nothing. And I think that's due to the, it's because it's not, I need to add some CSS, so I'm going to style. I'm going to add a body for the body, I want the background color just to be white. And come here, there you go. That's not very exciting, is it? Alright, let me add time as well. Can I just refresh here? Nope. Click, click. Alright. So let me add a little more stuff to that. So add times, refresh. There you go. Alright, so this is a nice little bit of context, but it's not great. You know, it's taking up, so you have this nice chunk of space, but it's not being used very well. Nope. Anyway, snap it. Okay. Feel free to ask questions in the live chat. I wonder if I can kick someone off of the chat. I can remove my own things. Alright. So I have that. I got my thing there. So how do I make this a little better? Well, add in that, so now everything's centered. Cool, cool, cool. But I want to go a little further. go materials, CSS. I'm going to find this material, this one. I'm going to add in this nice CSS to it. That way I can improve the quality of the design. I'm just going to be coasted here because I don't actually want to. It's fine to pull it in. This isn't a big deal in terms of stuff. I don't need to like build this crazy deployable, scalable system. Alright, templates. Nope. I want to make this a card. Maybe no. Right. Well, I'll make this. Yeah. So based on that, I can go over here. Class equals MDL card. Make that a little nicer. Alright, so that's how it looks now. It's a little wonky, I will admit. So let me take a look at some of this. I'm going to copy this CSS, put it into, well, nope. What is that? It's class. Alright, so I do want to copy it, paste it there. So I'm looking at this demo right here, right? And I like this. It's, you know, a little more than I need. But I think it gets a lot of the stuff there. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to replace the. So I have. Do you see my mouse? No. Maybe you don't. So I have this. This is basically my title. I'm going to replace that. Just copying off what they have in the demo. There, and then everything else is basically do that. Do MDL card supporting. But I think I want to kind of do the this bottom thing as well for the bottom part. We'll cut that. Div class MDL card actions MDL card border. So looking at this example, you see this is a link, and I guess you click on the link and this is going to happen. I don't really want this effect, you know, so, but I don't need it to. Can I even interact with this stuff on the screen? No, I can't. But if we do look, now this is it looks a little better, right? A little more like a card. And in fact, it looks like I can actually just remove that now. You see, I've gotten rid of the background color. So here it's actually going to go ahead and cut that out of the rendering in OBS. So OBS applies its own thing by default, I suppose, and now looks a little more like a card, right? So actually, I like this. This is better. Certainly, it's centered and it's got the heading isn't centered. Let's center the heading, and I do need to put in. I'm going to put in the link and then the office hours component. Let's go back. Okay, so body and H2. We're going to go ahead because this is H2. Align that text. MDL button, MDL button. Colored MDLJS button. MDLJS ripple effect. So I don't need the ripple effect. Oops. Feel free to ask questions in the live chat. I don't know why I'm capitalizing it. Let's go ahead and click back. It's too long. And this is still not centered. Let's investigate the centering. So let's go to the left window. Okay, so I guess it's fine because I think for the small one, the small window and the top bottom, I can keep it so that way left and right. Otherwise, when I flip back, I do want to have the ability to have people read things. Live stream. I'm going to put this in Chrome. So now that I'm in Chrome, I get better debugging experience. So this is kind of what the whole thing looks like right now. I'm going to inspect this, because why is it not centered? It does have text align, but the width is not all the way because it's display flex. Maybe it's not. Alright, well, let me just test this out. The width is 100%. And it's still not centered. So, align self. Nope. So this is a key part of debugging stuff, right? I'm just gonna keep playing around until I get what I want. Because this was display. Yeah, I don't know. That's not important. I like it the way it is. Ask questions in the live chat. If I just update the text, there you go. Go ahead, update that copy a little bit. Currently building a live stream description from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Actually, that's not the right time. 4 to 5 p.m. So per EST. Yeah. Let me make it small. Put in the small thing. This will automatically make the thing small. Make the styles. EST. Go ahead, jump back. It is slightly smaller. Alright, ask questions in the live chat. So this element you look, so one of these classes, probably the MDL button, this makes everything capitalized, so I guess it doesn't matter. Live chat. Take a look again. Now I get the space. And direct all feeds, and there we go. That's my card. It's a nice looking card, isn't it? I actually do like it. I like it. How many viewers do I have? Does it matter? Live for an hour. And then no one's watching, which is probably for the best. But I think this is helped. Yeah, so now if you look at this thing right here, the card that you're seeing, it's in the top left of this box, and because it's filling out the space the way it is, it's not. It looks kind of off. So let's go ahead and apply some styles just to get it precisely to the section I want. Let's do that. So we know before. Let me actually put that in a comment here. We want it to be 427 by 318. 427 by 318 for 1280p, but it's not 1280p, it's 1080p. Why is the calculator so big? I don't know. But so I made a mistake before with the sizing. It's proportionally correct, but 641 by something 1080p. This is 720p. 318. 318 divided by 720 times 1080, you get 477. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a larger wrapping div. I'm going to call it streaming bounds. Put that here. Indent. So this is going to have the style attached. I want the width to be exactly 641 pixels. I want the height to be exactly 477 pixels. And just to make it clear what the space is, I'm going to make the background color red. I'm going to make the border solid 1 pixel black. So now I'll come back here, and this is exactly the space that I want it to be in. Now this will allow me to precisely apply some styles to move it. Actually, this is weird that it has scroll bars. So we'll fix that later. No, we won't. We won't worry about it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Yeah. So I can use the debugging. I can add some stuff so that it's very nicely centered in the window. Something is off with my math here. Do 427. We'll do 427. And there 427 by 318. That's a little more accurate. Alright. So let's do MDL card. We'll just apply margin to it, right? We don't need this to be super centered with some crazy CSS. We just need it to be moved around. Margin left, 20 pixels. We'll do margin top, 24 pixels. Alright, so that's a little better. We go to all feeds, see how that goes. It's a little better. Yeah. Of course, we can just go to here. We don't need to go into the keep changing it that way. We'll do here. We see our style applied right here. We can just go ahead and use the arrow keys to get exactly to the spot we want. 44, that looks good, right? And we would like to have it a little lower in the thing, in the 90, right? Well, we can go ahead and 44, we can do 90. Looks good. Actually, we don't want that. What we want it to do, we can just do that. We can do that, and then those styles will go away. We don't need that. Just delete that. Do that. Useful for debugging position. We have that before. This is just semantics at this point. We don't need it. We don't need it, but it's nice to have. Last thing you want to do: overflow hidden, and that way you won't see the scroll bars show up. You go to all feeds, and there you go. Felt office hours. It's nicely positioned. You know, it's not on the bottom. It's not in this weird corner on the top. It looks fairly centered. I could center it a little more and make that 48. That looks good. And then, of course, this is perfect because then every day I can go ahead and say currently building a particle photon. Alright. Maybe not even that. I can just steam it. Currently playing around with a particle photon. Yeah, the text is kind of not as the new line thing right there, but sure. Yeah, looks good. And then, of course, there is some weird stuff at the top. Wait a second. Is the quality just bad? Now we actually gotta go figure it out. It would suck if, you know, we're doing this whole thing and then I'm doing the whole thing and then, oh, okay. So this is HD here. But how HD? Because you can't really see any text. And yeah, I get that I'm playing at the highest quality, and that's great. Okay, so if you look at individual things, that's actually really low latency. Okay, so at this level, it's so weird to see myself 100 times all on this stream, especially with the latency. At this level of granularity, you're not able to see the text very well. So if I do want to do stuff, I will have to jump into this individual window stuff so that you can see what I'm looking at. Because even here, like, you can't really. This is like normal window size, and then this is just too small. But I just give you a good overview of everything that's happening. So I think the format is going to be, hey everyone, I'm playing around with the particle photon today. Let's write some particle code, and then click on the window. Alright, now we're going to go Google particle photon. Close that. Click on this, and then we do stuff, and then alright, let's write some code. Jump over to the code. Writing code, as I am wont to do. I have this nice control center with everything in it, and boom. Alright. Alright. I click go live. Do I get into the settings? Yes. Alright, back into the settings. And there you go, updates. It would be nice if it wasn't everything was centered, but I guess that's not something we can do. I am a little concerned with the live chat, though. I also don't know about the whole. Alright, let me try another one. Let me just copy all of this. It's a filter. Filters. I don't know. No, it didn't do anything. Let's copy all that. Let's try a new scene. Okay. Can I actually? I should just have duplicated this one. Alright, so this one, actually, let me play around with some other ways of doing it. if I have the two windows like that, well, see, that's the thing. I guess I can't make them any larger unless move this one over here. Move this one up here. No, it's just because of the two windows. They're just gonna overlap. I don't want them to overlap. And this is what I'm looking at. Nope, you can't see what I'm looking at. This one works. All right, this is okay. I just can't make this any bigger. So it doesn't. I mean, this is fine. This will work. And then I've got this space at the top that I can't really do much about. Well, this was bad. If I duplicate this one, that. Yeah, 300. Let's experiment. Make that a little bigger. Make this a little bigger. Make that a little bigger. Center it. Now see, this is just making things bigger, which I guess works. Right, and now because I made each of the corners bigger, the proportions are off. That's okay. I actually think this looks pretty good. Now it looks weird that this is nope. Nope. Ah, shoot. New input capture. What can I do with this? Nope. Same options. Cool. And this is snapping to the center, but I know it's not centered. Well, it's not visually centered. Yeah, I don't know. Let's make it not actually centered, just so that. No, I think it is centered. Yeah, it looks okay. Well, it has to. Looks like I'm all set up. And then we go ahead, oh, we can work on cyanobite. Let me look at some of the issues it'll tackle. And then I say, create template for embedded devices. Alright. So I did already start this one, and then we go ahead, click on the pull request. All checks pass, which is great. Actually, I'm not happy because I do think it's gonna actually crash the CI build once I do this, because I made some wider. Actually, this doesn't have. This has the annual test. This has the generic. So this does have all the stuff. I need that. To know that. But I don't have any tests for this. So one day, need to self write tests. Yeah, it's going to pass the checks if there are no tests, because all the ones pass. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here that I can live stream working on. And if I have to work from home, I will work on this stuff. And tackle some of these. Close out a bunch of issues, you know, tackle one at a time. Start 6, go up all the way up. It'll still be fun. So.